So I'm going to walk you through the next steps of your technical drawing and then adding the dimensions of your drawing. So this is what it looks like in Canvas. I moved this up into week 16. This is work that you should, I don't know if you had a chance to work on Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday for sure you should be working on it. So let's open up the technical drawing assignment itself in Canvas if you haven't done that in a while. And you'll need your large piece of paper. You're going to need a ruler, and you need your pencil and some erasers. You might have to ask my sub to help out with that. So there is this Edpuzzle in here that'll go over it, and you can watch a person do this kind of work. Obviously, he's doing it a different style than or a different way than we're doing, but so here is your technical drawing or an example of a technical drawing, and the you've got to have the outside of your car drawn within the triangle of your block that's drawn on your paper. Okay. They should be, you got your side view, and then you got your top view. And right now I'm showing you the outline of the car is a single line. It's not a scribble. There's no decoration in this one. All your decorations and things like that, other details in your car, this is just what the dimensions are on the side and on the top so we can actually make this in the shop. So your wheels, you can get those from your kits. Place your axle holes on the side view. Remember, you've got to keep it 5 millimeters above the bottom of the car base and no more than 10. So draw your axle wheels there, and then you can lay down your wheel on top of that and just draw the outline of your wheel. And there you have it, your wheel on your drawing. You can do that for the side view only because remember the top views are rectangles. Okay. Now this drawing is not exactly right because those lines behind the tires should be actually dashed. So just know that this drawing is not exact. It's got some flaws in it. So then let's see, where are we going here? Yeah, that should be a dimension. And then when we did this before, we did those lines up to the top. We don't need to, but it still has to, they still have to line up. The tires have to line up. Okay. Notice it's a rectangle. Notice it's thin. Again, use your tires that you actually pick for your kit to draw these. You can measure it with a ruler about how wide they are and then make sure that that's how wide you draw them. And then project that axle, which is a thickness, straight through the body of the car. Use a dash line. You notice that this person forgot their dash line. So again, a few errors on this drawing, but it's a pretty darn good drawing to at least show you what it might look like when you're done. After you've got your everything drawn on here, then what we need to do is we need to add the dimensions. And so we're going to take the main things from this car that we need to have, and we're going to add what their measurements are. I have no idea what I'm doing right there. So I'm doing a voiceover because my first recording didn't take it. So this is just a model to kind of simplify things for you. It's just showing you a block. It's showing you the tires there. It's showing that you got to have this wheel there. So wheels on the top and the bottom. You got your axles drawn. This is not a dimensional drawing. This is not a technical drawing, so it doesn't have the dashed. And then, but what we're going to do to add to our drawing, the final stage is you have to put down how long this car is. How long is your car from nose to tail? So the way we draw this is we draw a nice straight line from the end of the car with a gap. Nice with a ruler drawn, but it has a gap because if it's attached to the car, it's part of the car. And then one on the front, okay, with a gap, and then we draw a nice straight arrow from that side to the other side. And anybody looking at this will understand that between those two lines is what's the dimension. And then in the middle of that, you can erase that or you can leave a gap. You would write in what the body length of the car is. Now on the other drawing, you can see that that's what they've done. So a line, it's touching the nose. That's not great, and it's not passing the arrow very well. Same thing, it's touching the tail. But in between, there's a gap, and you can see that they've written 244 millimeters. You also should note when you're looking at this drawing is that all of the numbers are facing the same way. So we're not having to twist the paper around to read the dimensions. The other thing and then also you got to get the ones that the bigger dimensions are on the outside, and the littler dimensions like the tire width on here. Okay, so that's what, 39.1 millimeters, maybe 34.1. I can't quite read it. So that's how wide that tire is. And then the thickness of the tire, you can see on the right end of that measurement there. Now that, because it's too narrow, we can't write the number in between. So what we do is we still draw those two lines, not touching the tire, but then the arrows are drawn pointing towards the two lines on the outside, and then the number is written on the outside. So again, this is standard practice. Anybody that knows how to read a technical drawing will understand it, but between those two lines, that's the thickness of that piece of the design. You're going to have to also mark where like your axles are. So out in front, you can draw a line from the axle, the top of the bottom of the axle, and the bottom of the car. Again, that's going to be really tiny, so the two arrows on the outside, but that's the distance the axle hole from the bottom of the dragster. So not only size of things, but also placement of things, especially the things on the spec sheet that are required. Okay, so the height of the front, showing you that there, the height of the dragster, and then notice that the bottom of the dragster and the two measurements we just did can share one same line. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just something you could notice and use if you can you figure that out. So other things, distance between the two axles, size of the wheels, we've gone over that. Distance between the axle hole and the bottom, you always want to make sure that's going to be no less than 5 millimeters. Yeah, size of the CO2 cartridge hole. You want to keep those gaps between the lines. Yeah. Okay. I'm waving around. I don't remember what I was doing there, but so again, this is a good example. It's not perfect. Use your specification sheets to find the things you probably should mark. At minimum, it's the how long your car is, how far apart the axles are, how big the wheels are, how thick the wheels are, where the wheels are located in the body from the nose and the back, and the size of the CO2 cartridge, those kind of things, like all the way in the back where you can see that it's marked that those measurements between the CO2 cartridge hole and the top and bottom of that cartridge or the body are the right thickness. Do your best on this. You'll get a chance to have me check them over later. So good luck.